IBM India Private Limited is the Indian subsidiary of IBM. It has facilities in Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune, Gurgaon, Noida, Chandigarh, Indore, Bhubaneshwar, Coimbatore, Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad. Between 2003 and 2007, IBM's headcount in India has grown by almost 800%, from 9,000 in 2003 to nearly 74,000 in 2007. Since 2006, IBM has been the multinational with the largest number of employees in India. IBM is very secretive about the geographic distribution of its employees. By most estimates, it is close to a third of its 430,000 employees in India, and it likely has more employees here than in the US. Growth and future initiatives. IBM, in an analyst meeting held at Bangalore on June 6, 2006, stated that IBM's India plans are for the long term and committed to invest $6 billion in the next 3 years in India, triple the amount invested in the 3 years preceding the meeting. IBM worldwide expects its revenues to be around $120 billion by 2010, of which nearly $86 billion would come from IBM Global Services alone, with an estimate of about 200,000 employees. IBM India would account for 90,000 of these. Roughly translated, IBM's Indian employees would generate $35 billion of IBM's revenues in 2010. IBM Global Services was called the Jewel and the IBM Crown by the Aberdeen Group in 2003. For worldwide IBM, this is the group that contributes to more than half its global revenues presently in GROWNG at a healthy rate. With half of global service employees to be located in India, IBM India's importance for the global corporation can be easily fathomed. IBM's reorganization. In 2005, Ginni Rometty at the Enterprise Business Services unit of IBM Worldwide heralded changes that would have long-running implications and would lead to the explosive growth of IBM in India. In an investor meet in 2006, she identified 5 areas that would transform IBM and bring profitable growth. In order of importance, they are business transformation, outsourcing, application management services, business solutions, small and medium business and innovation. In each one of these areas, IBM India figures prominently and employee numbers have grown multi-fold in the last 2 years. IBM India's domestic revenues grew at 60% in 2005 June, making it one of the highest growth areas in the entire IBM portfolio of geographies and businesses. IBM India is also the biggest domestic IT player in the country, replacing HCL Technologies. It's worthwhile to mention that Airtel, India's largest private telecom company, chose IBM as its strategic partner for outsourcing its entire network and IT backbone, a deal worth about $750 million initially, and currently worth over $2 billion. $7,858,838,866 employees like Kishan Pandey, joined his service in November 2014, are making the organization more eligible to be the best in the market. History. Pre-liberalization story. In making the change to its new mode of operation, a number of restructuring steps were taken. All installed equipment was sold to the existing users for a nominal amount of less than $10. The service bureaus were given to the employees who were employed in them at that time. A management structure was established, based upon several of the most senior Indian managers, who collectively became the majority shareholders in the new company, which they named IDM. The equipment service business was transferred as a single total entity to the GOI, on the understanding that they would continue to offer maintenance service to all existing users. IBM undertook to provide spare parts for installed equipment for at least a further 5 years. Employees who were working in other countries at that time were offered positions in those countries, if the immigration laws allowed. Most accepted and a number went on to achieve promotions to senior positions in those countries and around the world. The employment of all other employees was terminated, with what were generally considered to be generous redundancy terms. Post-liberalization story. India was liberalized in 1991, relaxing FDI norms. IBM re-entered the Indian shores in 1992 with a Tata joint venture, named Tata Information Systems Limited. Its business interest in India was still focused on product sales. Current activities: IBM India has now grown to an extent where it poses a stiff challenge to homegrown software companies of India in IT global delivery and manpower attraction retention. It now operates the following business lines from India, which contributes to worldwide IBM in a global delivery framework: India Software Labs, India Research Lab, Linux Technology Center, Global Business Services, GBS, Global Technology Services formerly known as ITDGD, Global Business Solutions Center, Sales and Distribution, Integrated Technology Services. On March 2, 2012, it was reported that IBM India wants to open sales office in around 40 Tier I and Tier II cities of India in year 2012 to 2013. Business lines: Global Business Services. This division, along with Global Technology Services, has the largest employee headcount and operates in a global delivery framework. Although it's impossible to quantify the value contribution from this unit, since IBM GBS India operates in the cost recovery mode, it is considered to contribute well in excess of $1 billion per annum. IBM India's package implementation and maintenance practice with its SAP, Oracle, Bell, PayOptisoft, J.D. Edwards and Clarify practitioners is the biggest amongst all Indian IT companies. This entity is organized as a consulting company, with divisions mirroring the functional expertise within, for instance finance management solutions, customer relationship management, supply chain management, energy and utilities and so forth. Application consultants from the fledgling SAP practice of IBM India are one of the most mobile of its workforce, frequently globe-trotting to other IBM geographies and benefiting from the nearly 3-decade-old IBM and SAP alliance. Linux Technology Center, Business Transformation Outsourcing. With the acquisition of DAKSH in 2004, IBM now also has a formidable business process outsourcing service portfolio. Associates and analysts work out of the Embassy Golf Links, Bangalore office in outsourced business processes of IBM clients. The company has sent out more than 800 newly recruited employees in 2008 and the process is still going on. According to the Stacks, IBM DAKSH is on the top position in the BPO industry in India. Now Concentrix Technologies acquired IBM DAKSH. Business Analytics Center of Competency. In a move to focus on growing business analytics marketplace, IBM on November 9, 2009, has announced the creation of a new Business Analytics Center of Competency in Bangalore, India. IBM's new Business Analytics Center is to offer global support and is expected to be staffed by over 200 consultants with advanced analytics skills. Country managers. The head of IBM India is called a country manager. These people have headed IBM India during its history in the country. 1966 1976 Alec Taylor, 1976 1978 T. Brian Finn, 1992 1994 Michael Klein, 1994 1996 John R. Whiting, 1996 1998 Ravi Mahar, 1998 2000 Ranjit Limay, 2001 2004 Abraham Thomas, currently in IBM Singapore, 2004 2012 Shankar Nasami. 2012 presenter Vanithan Narayanan, references. External links, IBM India site http, www.ibm.com